Sponsored by Cash and Republic of China on Taiwan.
99.9 WEFM.
Activated morning on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty, so the time here in Instagram is now 8:05 a.m. And before we get into our next topic, we just have a few things to alert you on. All right, so first up is in Leeward Primary School Public Speaking Competition. 6 students will be competing today, October 24, 2023, in the inaugural North Leeward Primary School Public Speaking Competition. The event, organized by the Literacy Department of the Fitzhugh Government School, takes place at the school from 1 p.m. under the theme, Your Voice is Your Power. The participating schools are Spring Village Methodist, Westworth Methodist, Tramaca Government, Rosal Government, Chatterville Methodist, Fitzhugh's Government. Students will speak on a topic is Inclusive Education, the Way Forward in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They will also be given an impromptu topic. The winner will receive the WEFM sponsored trophy among other prizes. WEFM will bring live coverage of this event from 1 p.m.
All right, 6 finalists will compete tonight in the 2023 Lions Club South Flow National Secondary Schools Public Speaking Competition at the Methodist Church Hall in Kingston. Finalists are Janine Stowe, St. Vincent Girls High School, Christian Joseph, St. Vincent Grammar School, Kevisha Richardson, St. Joseph's Convent, Kingston, Soren Phillips, Thomas Under Secondary School, Rihanna Ross, Mountain View Adventist Academy, Lisa Robertson, Adelphi Secondary School. The students will speak on the topic unless criminals' proximity to power is reduced, their ill-gotten gains confiscated, and a culture of lawlessness fostered, the level of crime will remain at unacceptable levels. WEFM will bring coverage of the event from 7 p.m.
All right, and MySmart Toilet Seat special promo discounts for WEFM customers. Listeners to WEFM 99.9 can earn a special discount of $25 with their purchase of non-electric smart toilet seats, only which retail for EC $272.60 from MySmart Toilet Seats located on the 3rd floor Bayside Plaza at the corner of Bay and Higginson Streets in Kingston. Listeners must mention promo code WEFM at the time of purchase to earn the discount. Layaway plans are available and this promotion ends at the end of October. All right, so that's our updates for you. 2 public speaking competitions taking place and my toilet seat promo. All right, so
by the time we hop into Activated Mornings, welcome to Activated Mornings this morning. I just want to say I already have a bias in these public speaking competitions.
With a grammar school?
All the way. St. Vincent Grammar School needs to win every single time. I know we're really consistent and sometimes high school would win, but St. Vincent Grammar School all the way. What's his name?
Right?
Christian. All the best Christian.
What it is I know used to happen is if we're competing against each other, let's say grammar school doesn't win.
Yeah.
Support high school,
if
right?
Grammar school doesn't win, it's high school all the way. Christian, all the best today.
Listen, you know what I actually like though? I went to high school, but people think that I went to convent because of they say I don't seem like a high schooler, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Convent, you're wicked.
But I went to high school, so what did a crossbreed or something?
I don't know. Half wicked. There's a half wicked
Right?
witch.
But you just called me a witch on the radio?
Half wicked witch.
I see what Crystal and you just had a festival mornings, and I honestly understand why. Anyways, back to what I was saying, right? I'm happy to see there are some favorites that I've always had. Yes, high school, grammar school, convents, or generally any mix, but I've always also looked forward to the presentations from Mountain View Academy. You've never, you just strictly grammar school.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, the conversation ends there. But in any event, we're wishing all 6 participants the very best tonight. And remember, this is one of those competitions that we look forward to as a nation. Looking at on TV or streaming like and all that good stuff, and listening on WEFM, of course. All right. So yes, all of us will be up in that tonight.
The first thing I want to say is, Father God, we tired. Leeward people tired.
And we're spelling tired with a T-Y-A-D. Tired.
We tired of this. So, for those who don't know, last night, well, yesterday afternoon, not even evening, afternoon, at Lomans Leeward, close to the Great House area, there was an oil spill. Seeing a truck, I don't know what exactly the story, but it leaked oil all, boy, a few meters, I would say, a few kilometers of oil over the streets, causing traffic for 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours is a long time, and worse in on the Leeward side where we don't usually have traffic. But the cause of this is the fact that we don't really have secondary roads. Because between Kingston,
Once you reach Gibson Corner,
Yeah,
once anything
Gibson
happens
Corner,
across
yeah.
it, that's it.
that's it. You don't wait until the road clear up. You're there indefinitely. And that's been the case for years, for as long as I could remember. If it happens around the cemetery area, then you have the option to drive through Great House, which is still another small road, and it still will have the traffic backed up. Camden Park, it's more loose.
Yeah, because you could go through Plan for Camden Park.
Yeah, but
Um,
between Transy bus stop and Rayland Hill,
No,
you
well,
don't-
to get to Chauncey, you can go through Boston Camden Park.
nah, I'm saying Transy bus stop. After
Uh-huh.
that, if something happened after Transy bus stop
You mean
and Rayland Hill,
more like after? No, it'd be more like after Lomans.
No. we go in Leeward. You
Oh,
said from
Lomans.
Gibson Corner.
Okay.
Yes, so we
Oh,
still on the
okay.
track to Leeward.
Mhm.
So you pass Transy bus stop, something happened between there and
Oh,
Rayland Hill.
right.
That's
right.
it. Backed up traffic for hours again. And that's basically how it goes going on to the Leeward side. There's some secondary roads, and then there's areas where there's not. The minute, as soon as there's an accident, case your plans goodbye, you are in traffic, settle down, get a game out on your phone, chat with your friends because you're in it for a while.
So it's like you need to probably use your bathroom before leaving town, just in case, because emergencies could happen. You did. I also remember. I think the first time I seriously experienced this was on the 11th. I also remember because it is that I've always had an issue with this because of the fact that, and I remember too, I'm sorry if I'm speaking fast and I'm something like I'm rambling, but I always remember thinking of when the plan was proposed for a cross-country road. And in my head, I was saying, we're looking to do a cross-country road, and Leeward only has one road. Like, where is the priority here? Because it's not possible. Anything that happens between Gibson Corner, Lomans, the entire Leeward side is at a standstill. And I'm keep wondering, how many more instances does it take, would we need to experience in order for this situation to be addressed? All right. Just before we continue, remember that this is an interactive session. If you wish to lend your voice, your thoughts, your opinions, you can contact us, call in or WhatsApp at 457-9997. All right. We try to keep it try to keep your calls at about 2 minutes so that we could get as much in as possible. All right. But back to the topic. I
1 second, Roleza. Those of you on the live, are you still having issues with the audio? Okay, seems to be solved. Good morning, and good morning, Samuel in New York.
Right. And one of the other things as we continue with this is we're talking about development that's taken place on the Leeward side already. We see that Sandals Resort is already in the development stage. Black Sands, we're still waiting on, still waiting to see what happens there. But, a lot of businesses have also moved to the Leeward side of the country. And I'm wondering, what is it going to take to open the eyes of those who should be seeing for there to be an alternative road? Now, I'm thinking that there should be a road that comes over from, a road can be created between, Edinburgh, Otley Hall into Lower Camden Park. And, there we would be able to go further from there. But, I mean, we moved the mountains to build an airport. What's happening with the Leeward side?
Yeah, but then the airport is $1 million investment. That's the other problem too. If we're going to have secondary roads, it's going to cost a lot of money. But I really believe that with all the effort and all the emphasis placed on the Windward roads, by now, we're going to celebrate 44 years of independence. By now, we should have more secondary roads on the Leeward side.
Yeah.
An oil spill at Lowmans. Lowmans not far from town. Lowmans is the second village you meet.
And the thing too is, to me, it's not even just oil spills, because what I also have a serious problem with is gravel on the roads. And I'm thinking that at this point in time that anybody who's transporting gravel needs to walk with another truck behind them, or another pickup truck or something behind them, with somebody carrying brooms or something, because at this point, it's like you're following a trail of gravel, whether you're going into town or you're coming from town. And this shouldn't be, because gravel happens, oil spills happen. And the real danger is when it rains, because a lot of the times you're not even aware of, let's say there being oil on the road until you see the rainbow on the ground when it rains, so these are things that persons need to be very mindful of, especially those truck drivers. It's not necessarily a case where we have the oil spills on a frequent basis, but what we have happening more frequently is gravel and sand being on the road. The trucks are going where they're going. They either know that they might be dropping sand, or they're not realizing that they're dropping sand. But the rest of us as drivers have to contend with this. You're trying to, if you happen to need to pull a sudden brakes and there's gravel on the road, what do you think is going to happen in those instances? So even if you're a careful driver, things do happen on the road, and we shouldn't have things like gravel and oil affecting our driving capabilities.
For those on the live, we have no idea what is happening with the quality, and more than likely it's an internet problem, but we do apologize for the camera freezing. Back to the discussion though. I really think that these, I don't know if they're independent drivers or if they're contracted drivers, but these truck drivers between Camden Park and it seems like it's Pokemon where Sandals have work going on. Please pay your truck drivers overtime, whatever it takes to take them off the road during the day. During the day, it's very, very frustrating. Sometimes you're driving behind these trucks carrying loads. Sometimes, okay, I'm gonna read a comment from I'm pretty sure there's a mistake. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 2 things you never see on the road on Leeward side, and your funeral. And 2 things you never see another road on Leeward side. Oh, and your funeral. I'm 53 years of age, and this is the same thing since I small. Exactly.
We keeping hope. We keeping hope alive, Ari. And to that person, we keeping hope alive, because at this point it's ridiculous. I know that the Leeward side doesn't have as much traffic or vehicles as we tend to see on the Windward side. But the fact that we only have one entry and one exit point, it is ridiculous at this point. And let's say something like this happens when the resort opens. What is going to be said at that point in time? And mind you, I am not saying that we need to have this a secondary road or a bypass road for the sake of our visitors, because we as citizens, we live here. But the point is that would you want for a visitor to experience something like this? Suppose a cruise ship was in port and they had to leave at 6 or whatever the time was. Now, yes, I know that it could have been reported that that there's an incident, but persons would have been held up. Are these things that we want to have happening in our country? You know, so let's be mindful of the fact that we are a developing nation. We are looking to have a blooming tourism industry. And these are, in my view, minor things that we should address, not just for visitors, but for locals alike who have to use the roads on a daily basis.
And I was saying these trucks, there's a red one in particular, big red truck.
Man, the size of these trucks that we see in these days, I just
But no, this one stands out because this man, like, he think he driving a car. This truck will speed past you, sometimes be in the middle of the road, and he has flashing LED lights. It stands out.
I know it.
Yes, that truck needs to be stopped. That truck is more of a menace than Jada Pinkett Smith. I hate.
Oh my Lord,
to be
Ari,
on the
did you
road
need to go
when
there?
yes, I needed to go there. I hate to be on the road when that truck is on the road. And I really do believe, and I'm pretty sure I share the same sentiments as most intentions, that a lot of these trucks taking loads should be traveling during the night between 1 and 4 a.m., 1 and 5 a.m. Don't be on the road when normal persons are on the road trying to get from A to B, and then you're holding us up. You're creating difficult situations for us. I think better needs to be done with the way these trucks are being regulated.
And as we're talking all things in one, trailers. Explain to me how vans have a louder sounding horn than some of these trailers. I was behind a trailer yesterday and it's going around the corners. Luckily, I was behind of it, because had I been in front as in approaching it, I would not have heard the horn. You know, and to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. Number one, I think they need to have outriders, because we have some very tight corners here in Vincy, and blowing the horn is not enough, because sometimes you're not even sure where the sound is coming from. You're not sure whether it's behind you or in front of you. So a lot of these trailers, in my opinion as well, they need to have an outrider.
Having an outrider seems tedious to me. That means you have to go through the application form, and sometimes that means you can't have more than one truck on the road sometimes, because these police with bikes, they need no,
I'm not saying that it needs to be a police outrider. You know, I'm just saying that there needs to be another vehicle in front of them, walking with them, to alert persons of them coming.
But I'd like to know if a lot of these trucks go for inspection, because sometimes I see these trucks stop, there's no brake light, turn, there's no indicator light.
Sometimes you barely see the license plate.
Sometimes they can't see the license plate. Sometimes they don't have horns. So one truck passed me one night with no headlights.
Oh.
How
they do? You know, and that's the other thing too, is like you always have to be, and you know, as a driver, you have to stop and think for other drivers as well, because a lot of times, like even I was behind another one last week. They actually were looking to indicate to go in the other direction. Now, I realize people don't use hand signals anymore, right? I can understand not using hand signals if your indicator lights are actually working. But the truck had no indicator lights.
I had the same problem.
You know, so I am there like, had I been directly up on the truck, then I would have run into the truck, because it turned, it swung to the left, and I was not aware that it was going to swing.
Listen, truck drivers, minibus drivers, please, if you know that your vehicle is defective, you don't have brake lights, you don't have indicator lights, use your hand. If you stop in a corner, stop or call people. It's simple road etiquette. If you stop in a corner, stop the person behind you and call them. You can't use this time to be chatting with whoever you're chatting with in the van. You can't use this time to be on the phone. You need to look out for your fellow drivers on the road. Simple things like this avoid stupid accidents. But more importantly, as Roleza brought up, what is going to happen when Sandals settles in is it March? And we have these same issues, and there are barely secondary roads on the Leeward side. I wonder if there's something already in place. I wonder if there's something in the works. I wonder if complaints are being made, because we need.
It's one thing to complain, but as if persons are actually listening,
And that's the other thing.
And I mean, I don't want to take it to that extreme, but how many of the parliamentarians?
But there are a number of parliamentarians
on that side, actually living on that side.
All right, we have a quick call here. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning. Interesting talk, discussion, whatever you all are having there. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know that we had traffic lights in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at one time.
Yes, I'm old enough to know.
And okay, so under this regime,
the remnants remain in
Kingston. They removed that because to them, that, for whatever reason, it was not progressive. Yet, when we leave St. Vincent and we go to the more developed countries, that's what we are faced with, traffic lights.
Yeah, but was it the case where they were moved, or was it the case where a lot of persons ran into them as well too?
No. But if that was the case, right? I just can't understand why we do not have traffic lights, right? So I just asking the question: if you guys think traffic lights is an unprogressive, thing to introduce or to read, or we don't need traffic lights. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Ari, what was your adjustment, I suppose, when you grew up with traffic lights? You grew up with them? Okay.
But I wasn't driving. I wasn't driving at the time.
No, because what it is, I was curious about when I saw a photo recently of the traffic lights that we had in the past. It's when persons leave here from Vincent not having experienced it. Let's say my niece, because she's so young, she never experienced it. That adjustment to, it's like, do parents tell the children about these things when they're going off to study, or they're going off to experience living in someone else's country? Because in another country, it would be so common, it's so normal, it's standardized, it's something that they would have grown up with. But for us here, we're just used to policemen with white gloves,
I remember pressing the button to cross the street. I remember the traffic lights. Because my mother used to work at Financial Complex, so I was frequent right there at the main traffic lights. But Carly says they better start a boat shuttle from Kingston. Isn't that how they did it in the past? Isn't that how it was in the olden days before roads?
Yeah, but even that, is it that the boat is going to be completely covered if it's a rainy day? What's happening? So yeah, the boat shuttle is an alternative, but it should not be the main thing. Listen, and as I said before, we moved mountains to build an airport. I don't know if necessarily mountains need to be moved between Otley Hall to Camden Park. I don't know what exists between that in that terrain, but something needs to happen. At this point, it is absolutely ridiculous. All right,
exactly.
So let's take a break at this time and pay some bills, and we'll be back with our next topic.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a whole new